Hey, good morning and happy Labor Day. I hope you're at home in your bed with a coffee, cuddled up, watching us. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett. I'm Crystal Moyer filling in. Bridgett has the day off. But for the rest of us who are laboring, good morning. We have a lot to talk about today, including weather. Over the weekend, we had quite a lot of rain in some areas of downtown Orlando. Some cars got stuck, some areas flooded up to the waist. Jarrell Baker has the story on that. We're also live over at the Orlando International Airport. Today's supposed to be the biggest travel day of the holiday season right now for Labor Day. So we're checking in with some of that TSA check-in screening times right now with one of our reporters there. We also have news from the beach too. There is a warning if you're trying to head out to the beach today to celebrate with your family. Just to keep you safe, we'll get to that in just a moment. And also, we have a check-in on the Lake Mary All-Stars over the weekend. If you were like me and you watched on clickorlando.com, we got to see our coverage of the big parade that happened in Lake Mary on Saturday morning. News 6's Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos was there, as well as Trooper Steve. We had a ton of people from News 6 out covering that as well as Justin Warmoth, who actually got to be in the parade, which was really cool as well. And then we're going to talk about some giveaways with our insiders. You'll want to stay tuned for that. But starting off this morning, let's get to Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos with a look at our weather. Whoa.
Hi.
Is that me? That audio is awful, girlfriend. Yeah, let's try to fix the audio. Let's see if we can power down and power back up. I don't know if you guys can hear at home. It is not sounding too good. Yeah, let's check back in with her and see if we can get to Trooper Steve in a moment with our weather. But first, let's talk about some flooding, because weather over the weekend, it looked good during the early parts of the day, and then we saw those downpours. So Jarrell Baker was out in Thornton Park, where some areas saw flooding up to the waist. One woman's car got stuck, and a Good Samaritan had to rescue her from the high waters. Let's take a look.
I was driving over there the Summerlin and take a ride to the Jackson, and my car just stopped.
This is Martha Torres's car. She was trapped inside for nearly 12 minutes due to Sunday evening's heavy rain in downtown Orlando.
Looks like a river, just in maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then I can get out from my car. And my angel here helped me to get out.
Luckily, Isabella Goolsby and her mom were walking nearby and noticed Martha waving for help. So how'd you get her out?
I opened the door and I was like, okay, like just come with me. You can hold on me because she has bad knee, so that you can come out slowly. We'll get there together. Like we'll come over here and we'll sit you down safe and sound. You know?
Sunday's rain left several streets near Summerlin Avenue waist deep in floodwater. The water damaged several homes and even trapped several Orange County vehicles in this parking lot. Local business owner Nicole Escobar sent us this video of the rain soaking the streets near her business. She says it's a constant issue.
I notice an impact on the foot traffic to my business because nobody wants to walk in that, especially if they're buying from the shop. They don't want to walk back to their car in torrential downpour and just the flooded sidewalks.
Martha says she's lived 2 blocks from the area where her car was trapped for nearly a decade and never experienced any flooding to this magnitude. Even though her car may be lost, she's happy she survived.
Blessing. No, it was blessing. Let me tell you, because that situation is very scary and very bad. That's the first time that happened. I don't know what happened.
Business owners and several people living in the area know the city started a project to fix sewer systems near East Robertson Street. They're hoping that the city can also fix problems in their area as well. In Orlando, Jarrell Baker getting results, News 6.
I'm so glad someone was able to help that woman out. You know, the most important thing when you see flooding on the roadways is not to travel on them. Let's get to Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. Let's see if her microphone is fixed. But when we are dealing with the rain, some areas are going to flood naturally. If you see high waters, avoid it. You don't want to drive through it, right?
And there, do you hear me?
I hear you. Fantastic. Sounds so much better than earlier.
I'm on my phone, so there you go. You know that there's that silly saying that people think is dumb, but it's turn around, don't drown. You're like, I'm not really gonna drown in waist deep water. Well, Steve was like, yeah, you are. It's just you never know what you're driving into. That's that whole, you just don't know. There could be how many times we have roadways that if you look, there's all of a sudden this little divot and it goes down to an embankment. You just don't know, and that's the
Yeah.
hard part. So everybody was okay, and she had a good Samaritan there. But I mean, we racked up a lot of rain. Let me show you real quick. One of the graphics, I actually prepped it up here. You can see how much rain fell, and this was just. I know the
Wow.
top says past, wasn't within the last 6, but just where that rain fell for a few hours yesterday, we racked up 3.5, almost 6 inches of rainfall between Winter Park and downtown Orlando, like southern downtown Orlando there. Look how much rain, that bright red there. And when you start inundating roadways like that with 6 inches of rain in less than an hour, it's no surprise that you get record amounts of water coming down the roadway. Now, you notice there when Jarrell was doing the interview just a little bit after the flooding happened, there's no more flooding, right? So the problem is that you get all this moisture, you get all this rain, and the ground just can't absorb all of it that quickly. So you get that real short-term flooding, and that's exactly what we saw. That's what we call those flash flood warnings. That's why we dealt with that yesterday. Samara Kokinas was kind of highlighting all that yesterday in the evening shows. But now let's fast forward to your Labor Day. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Deep tropical moisture is back into the forecast this afternoon. Scattered downpours will be expected, or coverage up to about 70%. Feeling, though, like 100 to 105. So a very typical Labor Day is on tap. So you can see all that tropical moisture that's continuing to surge into Central Florida, and that will continue to allow the east and west coast sea breeze to develop over the next few hours. So let me show you here real quick. This is clouds and rain forecast dealing with those scattered showers right along the I-4 by about 5 o'clock. They will develop along both coasts, and then where they really collide is where we will see those rock and thunderstorms that could produce some pretty heavy rain once again. So this is about 5-6 o'clock in the evening today, right over, you see there, that downtown Orlando zone where we saw a lot of the rain in Thornton Park. A lot more of the same, lingering at least until about 5-6, even 7 o'clock tonight, and then really tapering off by about 8. So the rain won't really move much in the forecast as we head into the evening hours. Let me backtrack here, show you where we're talking about. I double clicked by accident. Rain chances for today will be up to about a 70% this afternoon. Again, developing along our coast earlier in the day by about 2-3 o'clock. And then as the sun goes down, that threat will be further inland. Speaking of threats, lightning, flooding, those are going to be the biggest concerns locally here in Central Florida, because we are going to continue to see more rain on top of what already has seen a lot of rain. Highs in the meantime, though, low 90s today, 93. Our average for this time of the year is 91. Do want to show you a quick check on the tropical outlook. We have 3 different zones we are watching. Not a big concern for us right now in Central Florida. It's certainly good news. So we have one in the Gulf of Mexico with a 10% chance of development. We have another one across the eastern Caribbean that has a 40% chance. Many models have been kind of flip-flopping on where this goes. As of right now, we're highlighting kind of that southern fringe of the Caribbean into the Yucatan Peninsula throughout the week. And then we have a third zone out over the far eastern Atlantic, just coming off the coast of Africa. That also has a 40% chance of development. As of now, no tropical troubles locally for us, but plenty of tropical moisture is in the forecast. Temperatures will stay consistent, low 90s, decent chance of rain each and every afternoon. We are gearing up, getting close to that peak of hurricane season. By the way, if you have any Labor Day plans, you know how there's all those great Labor Day sales. There's also the tax-free hurricane preparedness tax also going. That is still going on until I believe the 6th. So they really time it out nicely at the beginning of the season and towards the peak of hurricane season, which, by the way, is September 10th. So no surprise that we're highlighting 3 areas in the tropics. How much of those systems will actually develop into something, we'll have to wait and see. We've got a lot of energy. We've got a lot of moisture, but how much that actually develops, we'll have to kind of wait and see. But as of right now, no big tropical troubles for us locally here.
Well, that's some good news. And Candace, I know today is a special day, a meteorological day, if you want to call it that. We are celebrating the first day of fall. What?
Yes, that was yesterday. It was September 1st, but it's our first day back, so I that
It's
got
still
confusing.
summer.
But right. And meteorological fall, the reason why meteorologists decide, when they're going to call fall is because it's easier for data to get it from one specific, how the seasons change a little bit from day to day. So to
Yeah.
try to get the most concise, we try to keep it to an actual day for data purposes. So meteorological fall began September 1st, but fall locally here doesn't start for another 22 days.
Candace
Well,
explains.
I mean, fall really won't begin until, oh, look at me, thumbs up. That was look, I did double thumbs up.
I love that. How is that even happening? I want that. How are you doing that?
You can't do it on your iPhone, but I can do balloons. Hold on, balloons. Oh no, it's confetti.
That's
Hey,
so
I should
cool.
eat-
Oh, okay. You're going to teach me how to do that. Candace will explain how to do that. So
I know. I do this with my kids every month.
I love this. Okay, Steve has a lot to live up to because when I come to him next, I'm expecting some of this. So,
Let's go for it.
all right. Thank you so much, Candace. We'll be checking back in with you on News 6 and, of course, News 6 at noon. Thank you so much. All right. Now we talked about weather. Of course, we want to see what's going on the roadways on this Labor Day. Is it heavy traffic? Is it dead out there? I don't know. Let's talk to Trooper Steve. Good morning. Happy Labor Day.
You got the heart one.
See,
Just for you, Crystal.
Steve, you just
for
steal
you.
my heart. You see, you come
Just
in
for you.
on Labor
Look at
Day,
that.
you anchor with me, you're keeping me company, and you send over hearts. Thank you.
See, I was hoping that Candace didn't use the heart one because it's the only one extra that's out there.
How am I
There's
the
a whole
only
bunch-
one who doesn't know how to do this?
So believe it or not, we all figured this out when Breakfast with Bridgett started because all our iPhone settings were still on it, and we're randomly talking to Bridgett, and like things started happening. Let's see, there's the balloons,
I love it.
and things just start happening on the screen, and we were like, wait. Is this real right now? And it's like, yeah. So I'm just glad they're all appropriate.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on with traffic. We did see it was a bit quiet this morning, but of course, if you're heading to maybe the airport or the beaches later on, we do expect to see some things pick up.
Are you there?
Yes. Can you hear us, Steve?
Testing.
Oh, it looks like we lost Steve's audio. He cannot hear us. Sorry, Steve.
Are you?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Awesome.
I'm back.
Okay,
You
so I
there?
was talking about traffic because obviously it is Labor Day. So it was quiet earlier this morning, but if you're trying to head to the airport or maybe even the beaches area, we could start to see things pick up.
Yeah, so right now our attractions area is my meter. I am so surprised by this. There is no delay anywhere along eastbound I-4 in the Champions Gate area. We're pretty much up to speed. Your drive time, perfect, flawless. The way the roads were designed, Champions Gate to downtown, 21 minutes. But like you're talking about, Crystal, we want to make sure that things are good over by the airport. So 528, not bad this morning. 436, even more of a ghost town. The thing is, you need to make sure you're checking your specific flight times because we're not providing those to you, but we will let you know how it's going to be to get there. If you get out there, you see Mark. He's over at, I believe, Terminal B. Make sure you give Mark Lehman a little bit of a hello. Downtown, not bad, but this crash has been hanging out here along Kirkman and Robinson. So just be careful as you're cruising out there, just south of the 408. FHP now on scene after kind of a lengthy response, but a little further west, Lake County, you guys are doing great this morning. No delays along the turnpike, no delays along State Road 50. You can definitely tell it is a laboring holiday because all our folks out there still enjoying the day. Claremont, no delay along State Road 50. If you're waking up early, maybe getting yourself some breakfast out there.
I want breakfast.
And Candace and I would love a drop off. Come on by and drop us off something. A little out of your way, though. Lake Mary. All we've been talking about is Lake Mary, and we can continue. Traffic out here westbound this morning. Things very clear. along I-4. Excuse me, that's going to be CBS Mornings playing in the background there. Sorry about that. And no delay out there. So we're in great shape, Crystal. And today we're going to take it nice and easy with Trooper Steve on patrol. I've never talked about driving with sandhill cranes in the road.
Oh.
So I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know where this topic even came from. It just popped up in my calendar. So we're going to chat about, just sharing the roads. And then I'll bring kind of the laws of what are they protected by certain laws? Why are the way they are? Maybe some fun facts of these prehistoric type birds that we have here in Central Florida. And then, of course, just paying attention to how we drive.
Awesome, Steve. And real quick, before we leave, the next story that we're going to with Mark Lehman is talking about the record-breaking passengers over at Orlando International Airport. And you are a frequent traveler, so you gave me some advice earlier today. And for those who maybe don't travel a lot, what are your recommendations for a smooth travel through the airport?
So I am not a checked bag individual. I don't care how long the trip is. I am a carry-on guy. So I have learned how to pack really well from my time in the military, and our Florida director, Derek, he's a former Marine, kind of laughing with me this morning because you could pack a 10-day, 12 to 2-week trip in a carry-on without a problem. But it's just knowing how to do that and being so intentional. I go there with a little cross bag, my little man bag that I carry. Listen, if Indiana Jones could have one, Trooper Steve could have one. So I have my little man bag. It's got my necessities in there, and that's it. I never stress because it's just so out of your control. What can you control? What you bring with you. So I am such a minimalist when I travel. The wife thinks the same way. So it actually works out to our benefit because we're just two carry-on folks traveling the world.
Saving time from having to go to that, checked baggage lane.
It's like 2 extra hours you could save sometimes.
But you can bring
and then
more
people
stuff.
Are arguing. I don't need it. All
right, thank you so much for those recommendations and advice. And your Merce, it's a man purse. It ain't a man bag.
Hey,
it's a Merce.
It's a man bag, girl. It's a man bag.
All right. Thank you so much, Trooper Steve. We'll see you at clickorlando.com for Trooper Steve on patrol. So we've been talking about the airport. Obviously, Labor Day travel has broken records. We've seen a lot of people go through TSA. Today, about 164,000 people expected to go through TSA, the largest of this travel period. News 6's Mark Lehman has been out there since the wee hours of the morning, checking with those TSA check times, and has more on travel at MCO.
As the holiday weekend is wrapping up, things are going to be crowded at Orlando International Airport.
Holidays are very packed and lots of people, so actually allow yourself more time.
Around 900,000 people passing through the gates during the Labor Day travel period. Today is expected to be the busiest of those days with 164,000 passengers at MCO, some of them offering their own advice.
Bring smaller bags and less things and you're good to go.
As much online checking in as you can do ahead of time.
Airport officials are also making recommendations like arriving at the airport at least 2 hours early, checking your flight status before you leave, and avoid checking bags if possible. Parking may also be an issue for travelers. Last week, the airport announced a plan to consolidate rental car operations, but with the facility years away, officials have been working on short-term parking solutions.
That was News 6's Mark Lehman from the Orlando International Airport. And if you're not traveling away or maybe heading home from Florida, maybe you live locally and you're planning on heading to the beach, local lifeguards have warnings for you as well with the dangerous potential of rip currents. If you've been out there over the weekend, you've seen those red flags flying. So News 6's Emily McLeod was out there in Volusia County over at the beaches and has more.
Well, with it being Labor Day weekend, of course our beaches are going to be crowded, but there's something else people should keep in mind when they're getting ready to hit the surf and the sand, and that's the water conditions. So we came out here to Daytona Beach to see how people are staying safe when the water is a little bit more rough. Dina Mears and her family are visiting Daytona Beach for the first time from Douglas, Georgia. Mears says they've been to several beaches along Florida's coast this summer, including Fernandina, St. Augustine, and now Daytona. But you all travel to the beach pretty frequently, so would you say you're pretty familiar with the beach flag systems?
Right. But because of our ages, and we've got a 1-year-old, most of our water time is between the ankle and the knee.
Mears says they prefer to stay on land or shallow water when they visit the beach.
We don't go out there. We watch other people and we think, oh, they need to come back in, because we've been in riptides before. And we just don't go out there. We enjoy just the edge of the water.
According to the Volusia Beaches app, it was red flag conditions on Sunday. On the beach safety website, it says the daily beach flag warnings can be found on their base towers, each county beachfront park, all beach approaches, lifeguard stations, and the mobile app.
Now, if you get to a beach access and you find that one of these signs isn't readily available for you, another great resource is going to be the Volusia Beaches app. So let me pull it up here on my phone. There you have a whole list of options you can pick from. So I'm going to click on beach conditions, and then I'm going to go to beach report, and there I can see the rip risk for today, the current beach conditions, the wind speed, and what color flag is flying. I can also go back and see what each beach flag warning means.
And you all are swimming near lifeguards. Tell me, does that play a factor in your decision where you decide to set up on the beach?
It does, because we watch both color flags to see when the flags change. And yesterday they did change, and we're like, oh, what happened? What's going on? So we watch the flags of the lifeguards, and people need to do that because they're there for our safety.
In Volusia County, Emily McLeod, Getting Results, News 6.
Important information there. Always swim near a lifeguard if you can. That's how you can be safe. They have their eyes on you. You have your eyes on them. So thank you so much, Emily, for that advice and on that app. Very helpful, valuable information there. All right. Again, I'm Crystal Moyer. You're watching Breakfast with Bridgett. We are going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with more on those Lake Mary All-Stars and a big parade they had over the weekend. Welcome back to Breakfast with Bridgett. I'm Crystal Moyer filling in. Bridgett has the day off. You had to have been living under a rock to not know the big story that we've been following for weeks, and we are talking about the Lake Mary All-Stars. They have clinched the Little League World Series. It was just nail-biting games. We had our anchor Justin Warmoth out there covering it from day one. It was just an incredible moment to see these boys, after all their hard work, win the Little League World Series. So, when they got home, we had to give them a special celebration. Lake Mary came together for a special parade. We had full coverage here on clickorlando.com and News 6. We had our talent out there. And if you missed it, here's a little piece of what happened.
They're just special. They're part of our hometown. They're just really good players.
I put in all these little baseballs for them to autograph because a signature is just a signature, but this is historic.
This is the MVP Taraj dance, okay? So nobody can do it better than him.
Oh, okay.
But I know a little bit.
Close second.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
So.
Okay. Okay.
To present your coaches and each of you with a key to the city of Lake Mary.
It makes me feel proud that Florida can win it all out of all the other times that they lost.
It gives my kids something to look forward to see that the hard work pays off, the work these boys put in, and that if they put in the same amount of work, that maybe they can accomplish with this too.
I'm really enjoying all the people coming together. You know, I always say that the win was the micro story, but the macro story is the relationships that are being formed with the families and all the people coming together. To me, that's the amazing thing that really came out of this.
So proud of our Lake Mary All-Stars and just so excited that the community had an opportunity to come together and really give them the celebration that they deserve. All right, so if you're looking for some free stuff, you know I got you covered with our new 6 Insider contest. Right now we're giving away 2 family 4-pack of tickets to the Orlando Science Center to see the new life exhibit. We've got sloths there, monkeys, tamarins. They've got so much there, getting you up close and personal to animals in the name of science. So we're excited about that. Just head to clickorlando.com/insider to enter. It is free to be a new 6 Insider. You'll just fill out a little form there. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you here for New 6 at noon. Have a good one.